Robocop. Freaking Robocop. After his first movie, the character Robocop has transcended all media, becoming a pop culture phenomenon in not only the US, but the entire world. Really, I can't do the character any justice. He's literally one of the most recognizable characters ever created. And with good reason. The original movie was a high-octane action movie containing depth, subtlety, subliminal storytelling, but most of all, heart, allowing the audience to relate to the character. And despite Robocop's sequel quality degrading as each movie would pass, there isn't anything denying the staying power of Robocop all these years later. And clearly, I'm not alone in thinking that. Since the first movie, Robocop has been used to shill so much merchandise, it would basically make your head explode. Which is kind of hilarious because all the movies kind of carry this anti-corporate greed message to them, but why fight a good thing, am I right? In a lot of ways, the Robocop we see in the commercials and ads today reminds me of what the board of directors attempted to do in the Robocop sequel. So today, let's pretend the board of directors got what they wanted as we ask ourselves, what the hell is with all of these Robocop commercials, and why does he seem to love fried chicken?
Robocop's command program, his set of directives, it determines his behavior. It's time to update the program.
Now, Robocop merch isn't anything new. Toys, video games, etc., etc., etc. But what if Robocop tried to get you to stop doing drugs?
What's bugging you, Murphy?
Drugs. Drugs bug me.
How do you keep away from drugs? They're everywhere. No pot, no pills, no crack, no smack, no coke, no exceptions. The Boys and Girls Club. It beats the streets. No kidding.
Personally, I prefer the other way Robocop got people off of drugs.
Bug!
Oh, yes, son!
You wanna hit this shit?
Thank you for not smoking.
The PSA itself was made during the promotion of Robocop 2. It's weird, like with Robocop 2, there was a whole bunch of weird marketing tactics to try to push the second movie. It's kind of like when he appeared in WCW as like a promotion for one of the pay-per-views, but that's a whole nother story in and of itself. And I think that story was told pretty well over on Wrestling Bio's channel, and he was the actual one that let me use the Robocop remix I've used a couple times throughout the video, and I do have the video of Robocop and WCW linked below. Go check his stuff out, his channel's amazing. This ad was made as a way to promote the Boys and Girls Clubs, and keep kids away from all sorts of fucking weird shit. Which actually does kind of make me wonder if Robocop 2's budget was funded by the Boys and Girls Club, even just a little bit, because it does carry a very anti-drug kind of message throughout the movie. Although what makes me laugh about that is the fact that several times throughout Robocop 2, people point out that he is a very, very, very violent role model, which in fairness kind of alludes to the first movie.
Any special message for all the kids watching at home?
Stay out of trouble.
So in order to make up for this, they try and turn him into this very caring and socially conscious member of the community.
Well, we're getting a lot of heat, and I mean a lot of it from the parents' groups.
He's become a role model for our children. Now what are we teaching them?
You have a point.
Which parodies this exact same style of PSA, and I don't think they were being ironic about it. I still think it's a good movie though. And how did Robocop deal with getting pumped full of socially conscious messages? He decided to freaking murk himself. Now, as strange as a PSA tie-in to a movie that openly mocks the fact that he's a role model for kids, Robocop also had his own 1-800 hotline.
Drug lords are launching weapons of terror. Your telephone is linked to my weapon system. Call now to activate.
And you could win the Robocop Game Boy. Our grand prize winner receives the official Robocop pinball machine. $1.50 the first minute, 75 cents each additional minute.
I really don't actually have anything else to add to that. I just really want that freaking P-ball. Fuck.
So crack.
I just really want that freaking pinball machine because it looks fucking awesome. Really though, this brings me to just a few years ago, to the infamous KFC commercials.
Try my $20 fill-up. You have 10 seconds to comply. You now have 5 seconds to comply. All white meat. Hungry boy. Enjoy!
Colonel Sanders, your Kentucky Fried Chicken is delicious. What's the secret recipe?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. Ha 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 ha.
And yeah, it's actually Peter Weller himself reprising his role to play a deranged Colonel Sanders Robocop. And it's just as amazing as it sounds. I'm serious, the commercial is just amazing. Like, I just can't even begin to understand the logic in why this thing exists, other than the company knowing Robocop was basically a thing. Plus, this came out long after the Robocop reboot in the early 2010s, so it's not like Robocop was in the public consciousness or anything like that. Now, the ad came out in 2019, and according to BloodyDisgusting.com, there is kind of a logic here. To quote Bloody Disgusting, they said, "The idea is that KFC has enlisted the help of Robocop to protect their secret recipe, and not everyone is a fan." Which, the way they make these commercials, it kind of implies that the recipe itself isn't that good, because Robocop's not really defending the recipe from anybody. He's essentially like force-feeding families. And people, and like, especially in the big dining table one, it's like they're really uncomfortable being there. So I get it, they wanted to get Robocop in these KFC commercials, but it made it look like it was a fucking, like, nightmare to try to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, good job, KFC. You're platinum. You're a rock star.
You're platinum. You're a rock star.
Yeah!
The other interesting tidbit is that at the time, Neil Blomkamp was putting together a Robocop sequel and wanted to cast Peter Weller in the role again. So this was kind of looked at as like a stepping stone to put Robocop back in the limelight. And as I'm sitting here talking about this now, I also was thinking like that kind of makes sense because Mortal Kombat 11 came out and Robocop was featured as one of the DLC characters. And I believe COVID is the main reason why the Robocop sequel is kind of on hiatus at the point, but at this point I'm not 100% sure. However, it does kind of make sense in the grand scheme of things to slowly get people to kind of get back into Robocop.
I have programming which dulls the stress.
And like I said, as of now, there hasn't been any new word on that Robocop sequel, but hey, we'll always have these creepy and weird-ass Robocop commercials to look back on. But the thing is, this isn't the only time Robocop's been featured in a fried chicken commercial.
롯데햄 프라이드 치킨.
되게 맛있습니다.
두 날개 더 주세요.
와, 뼈 없는 닭튀김 이건 모를 거야?
뼈 없는 닭튀김.
Nah. Oh, thank you. So I guess DoorDash is giving fullyfreefilms.com away. You got Noah: The Last Days, Audacity: Love Can't Stay Quiet, Exit: The Appeal of Suicide, yes, 180 Reversed, and Evolution vs. God. Maybe I'll go on fullyfreefilms.com. Anyway, back to Robocop. Now, Robocop's always been popular. He's been a part of the zeitgeist of fucking the entire world, but in Asia in particular, he's never really lost his popularity. And that actually makes a lot of sense, and that's because of one word: tokusatsu. Robocop is essentially a toku hero, or a metal hero if you want to get specific, albeit he still was an American creation. Which isn't that strange when you consider the fact that Spider-Man has also achieved a similar level of fame in Japan.
Spider String! 格闘技世界チャンピオン Spider-Man!
What is strange though is the ad for UFO ramen.
ほら、できた。正しい焼きそばはこれだ。
焼きそばは新型
UFO。UFO で当たる。ロボコップ変身寝袋だ。
恐るべロボグッズ
欲しいでしょ。
The thing with UFO ramen is they're kind of known for having like weird and out there ways to market their products. Keep in mind, this is the same company that made a whole Super Nintendo game just to sell their ramen. It was a side-scrolling beat-em-up similar to Final Fight, and it ain't great, but I don't know, it's alright. What's the correlation between ramen and Robocop? I have no freaking idea, but the commercial's hilarious. Let's finish off with a bit more of an obscure ad. I actually have not really seen too many places bring this ad up, but I really think it should be talked about way more. Because the ad itself isn't super crazy, but the story behind it is just... In 2014, Osaka PD hired Robocop in order to take down train perverts. I'm not kidding. So this was partially a marketing stunt for the Robocop reboot, but here's the craziest part. It was all very legit. The man they chose to be Robocop was indeed a police officer who was on the hunt for perverts. And according to an article on Mirror.co, the Osaka PD's website stated, quote unquote, Robocop is a hammer of justice to molesters threatening women. I mean, fuck, that's intense. In reality, he was kind of a walking PSA. Basically, his job, aside from hunting down train perverts, was to let people know that they forgot their luggage, but also to caution other people about leaving their belongings open for people to steal. During my research, I didn't find any incidents of Robocop actually needing to arrest anybody, so I don't know, maybe his actual... Robocop's deterrent of train molesters was actually working. And thanks to international sales, the Robocop reboot was able to turn a profit, earning $246 million at the box office, after it only made $56 million domestically. Unlike here in the West, Tokusatsu and Metal Heroes in particular are still very popular, so it's not that surprising that the movie did very well over there. But that was a quick look at some of the weirder Robocop commercials. It's kind of strange to think that a movie that was designed to shine a light on corporate greed would eventually be turned into a money-making machine that proved to be endlessly profitable. Who knows, maybe we'll get that Robocop sequel where he actually turns away from corporate greed and, you know, actually fights the corporate establishments and all that shit.
Well, that's just not gonna happen.
No, sir.
Either way, I'm not complaining, because to me, Robocop's awesome either way. Make sure to keep things light and rebellious, and I'll see you guys next time.